Okay, so hi. um, I have I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I was really sick last week. I'm not sick like with a cold or anything, but I had a really bad migraine and I couldn't really look at bright lights and also listen to loud sounds, and my voice is just naturally loud. So I didn't record my Last of Us wrap up last week, even though I kept saying I should do that, I should do that. I didn't do it. So we're doing it this week instead. With that out of the way, hello and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Shay. I make videos about horror movies, horror TV shows, horror video games, and theme parks because I live in Central Florida and I feel like it would be a crime not to. And if you're not new here, just smacked my necklace into oblivion. If you're not new here, welcome back. So today we are going to talk about The Last of Us. The Last of Us wrapped up a week ago, and I've been seeing a lot of really negative reviews, and I'm not quite sure why. So I'm gonna give my I guess uneducated opinion. If you're one of the people that didn't really like season 2, feel free to enlighten me as to why, because I never played the games, but I did know the story. Well, I say I never played the games. I didn't play this game all the way through. I stopped after the killing of Joel just because it was a little bit too much for me. So I didn't really know the story, but I know the story. And I feel like this pretty much followed it, and people are like, oh, it's terrible writing. I don't know why it's terrible writing, but we'll get to it. We're going to talk about that. We're also going to talk about some HHN updates and also a little bit of channel updates for you guys. So sit back, relax, and let's get into this creepy critique. My cat has decided that her new playground is my closet. So if you hear any noises, you probably won't, but if you hear any noises back there, my cat's just it's her playground right now. By the way, she's not locked in the closet. The door is open, but she's just decided that's where she wants to play right now, is in the closet. So I'm just making that clear so people don't think I locked her in a closet. Anyways, so I was going to do an individual video for just The Last of Us, but then I started thinking about it and some stuff has happened. One thing has happened regarding Halloween Horror Nights, and I wanted to touch on that. And it's not enough for a whole video, so I was like, well, I'll tack it onto here. And I also wanted to give some channel updates because since I took last week off, I am behind schedule. I am behind my schedule, not y'all's schedule, my schedule. So some things are gonna have to be readjusted just for the sake of my sanity. So I'm gonna do my review of The Last of Us. I'm not going to go through the last episode. I'm just gonna talk about how I felt about the season overall. I'm gonna give it its skull rating, and then we're gonna move on to the other stuff, okay? I hope that's okay. I hope that's good for you guys, because I just want to talk about how I feel about it more so than anything. So, yeah. So The Last of Us Season 2 for me was... it wasn't bad. It was good. I definitely think that the first season's better, but I think that also works with the first game. Like, the first game is definitely, in my opinion, better than the second game. Or I guess I can't really say I have an opinion because I didn't play through the entire second game, and there might be people out there that's like, no. My cat's out of the closet now. She's playing with a box on the floor. Okay. There might be some people though that say that the second game is better than the first, and that's okay if that's what you think. But this season wasn't bad. There were a lot of really great moments. The attack on Jackson was amazing. The horde of stalkers was terrifying and really well done. I think that the conflict between the Seraphites and the wolves was interesting. It was an interesting build up there. And then of course the episode where Joel got by Abby. I thought that was great. Story-wise, I didn't feel like it was weak. There were things that... I don't even think there was anything missing for me, really. I mean, we got moments where we saw what led Ellie to feel the way she did about Joel. We got to see a little bit more of their relationship, even though it was in the past tense. we also got to see Ellie kind of embracing a more dark nature, like a darker nature. She's a little bit more unhinged now, and she's definitely out for blood, out for revenge. And the last episode ended with Jesse getting capped and Abby, and Abby was there with Tommy holding him at gunpoint. So we're going to be switching to Abby's point of view next season, and I'm interested in seeing what they do with that, because I didn't play through any of the Abby stuff, so I don't know how I'm going to feel about it. Like, I'm going to give it a fair shot, but overall, like, I thought season 2 was good. There was really nothing that I have to complain about. As somebody who knows the game, I feel like it followed the game as closely as it possibly could. I thought the writing was fine. I thought the acting was phenomenal, especially Pedro's acting in episode 6. Ooh, I was crying. Like that definitely got me. I thought everybody did a good job. I thought the show was good. So I'm not really sure what is going on. I haven't really watched any of the videos. A lot of videos have popped up on my YouTube that are like, you know, oh, The Last of Us Season 2 was terrible, The Last of Us Season 2 had awful writing, and I haven't watched any of those videos yet because, frankly, for me, because I liked it, I wanted to do my video on it first before I started to talk about, like, look at other viewpoints and other opinions. And I also get really, really iffy when, I hate to say it, when it's a male reviewer because I feel like a lot of male reviewers don't like anything. Like, they hate everything. I haven't seen one male reviewer that actually enjoys anything that they watch. So for me, it's like, you're not really a good source of review. You just are crapping on everything. But again, I could be wrong. I don't know these guys' channels. I don't even know their names. Like, I don't know their channels. Their channels could be fantastic. They could be, like, you know, unbiased, but they just didn't like this show. So I'll give it a shot, but if you watched season 2 and you didn't care for it, please feel free to tell me why you didn't care for it, because I definitely loved it. I thought it was great bit of TV. Was it better than the first season? No. I would say the first season for me was a 5 out of 5 skulls. This season was like a 4.5 out of 5 skulls. It's never going to top the first one, because the first one is just so, not even just the season, it's like that with the game, because it is so iconic to me. And that relationship between Joel and Ellie is very important to me, so I hold on to that, and I don't even think about what happened in The Last of Us 2, none of that exists to me. So yeah, 4.5 out of 5 skulls for me for The Last of Us Season 2. I know this is a really short review, but this is usually how short my reviews are when I don't talk about the entire thing in one sitting. So yeah, they're usually like only a couple of minutes, if you've ever noticed. But yeah, so it was a good season. Let me know what you think. If you watched it, what do you think? Tell me down below. So now we have to get into a surprise HHN update, which, like I said, it was not enough for me to put in its own video because it's just a quick thing, and honestly, we have very little information, and I am not going to be, I already said this when I did my HHN predictions, like rating your HHN predictions. I already did this then. I said I'm not going to be covering every house announcement because there's 10 houses, and that's just a lot for me to be covering every single house announcement. I'm going to wait till everything's announced and then talk about it all at once. But I couldn't not talk about this because of what happened, because I don't think this has ever happened in the history of Halloween Horror Nights. Maybe it has, and I just was young and I didn't know, but I don't think this has ever happened in the history of Halloween Horror Nights. So, Blumhouse did a panel in Mexico on Sunday afternoon, Sunday evening-ish. And somebody, I don't know the full details, but somebody at that panel mentioned Five Nights at Freddy's in conjunction with Halloween Horror Nights. And right after that, Halloween Horror Nights posted, well, I'll just put it up here so you can see. So, Five Nights at Freddy's is coming to Halloween Horror Nights, which I had said I didn't think it was going to happen because they've burned me so often. They have burned me so often. So, Five Nights at Freddy's is coming. Now, the debate in the HHN community, especially the HHN subreddit, is what is this experience? Because the way that it was announced was like, Five Nights at Freddy's is coming to HHN, more details to come, and so everybody is kind of divided on what this is. So, there are people who believe that it's a house, especially because if you saw any of the speculation maps, there is a security camera in one of the spots, and everyone has been saying that that is Five Nights at Freddy's. So people are like, it's a house. Like, obviously, Five Nights at Freddy's is the house. But there's another side that says that they think it's going to be a photo op, so like a photo op area. And I have to fire this off real quick because I am so annoyed at that. I'm sorry if you believe that. I'm so annoyed at that thought process. So in 2023, was it? I think it was 2023. Cabana Bay had a setup, and they've done this for several years. I think last year was the first year that they didn't do it. And I was kind of shocked because I wanted to see it. I wanted to see like what they were going to do, but they have like this conference room, and they always turn the conference room into like sort of a photo op zone. It's sort of a zone where you can go and take pictures with different props. One year, I think the first year they ever did it was Stranger Things. They did Universal Monsters, and then that particular year they did Chucky, and the Chucky one was really, really popular. Everybody loved the Chucky one because they had optical illusions. They had a room that was all full of dolls. It looked really cool. I didn't go, but it looked really cool. So a lot of people are thinking that's what the Five Nights at Freddy's thing is going to be. They're believing that they're going to rent the conference room out of the Cabana Bay Hotel and then build a bunch of photo ops areas so you can go take pictures. And I'm like, we've already had that 2 years in a row for Five Nights at Freddy's. I don't think Universal would do that. I know people like don't trust corporations, but I don't think they're that dumb that they would announce something they've already done. Now, granted, both of those photo op zones were multiple movies mixed together. It was just a Blumhouse like photo op. So you had one area that was Five Nights at Freddy's. You had one area that was I don't even know, whatever I think The Purge, you had one area for each thing. I think Megan too. And then last year, the Red Coconut Club turned into the Dead Coconut Club, and in there they had a photo op area. The first thing you saw when you walked in there was Freddy Fazbear. So I do not think Universal is stupid enough to announce this and then turn around and be like, yeah, actually, it's just a photo op zone at Cabana Bay. Yeah, what did you guys think it was going to be? Did you think it was going to be a house? I am leaning, obviously, more towards it being a house, not just because that's what I want it to be, but because they have the security camera on the speculation map. The way they announced it, they're saying more details to come, experience Five Nights at Freddy's in a new way. You've seen the games, you've seen the movies, now experience Five Nights at Freddy's in a new way. For me, that's almost like direct confirmation that it's going to be a haunted house. And also, somebody on the HHN subreddit who has a little bit more insight but can't say, did confirm that Five Nights at Freddy's was not supposed to be the first announcement for HHN. They said, we can't tell you what it is. It kind of throws things off kilter a little bit for us, and we're trying to like recalibrate. But Five Nights at Freddy's was not supposed to be the first announcement. So it's not exactly a confirmation that it is a house, but it very much feels like it's like, yeah, it is a house, but we were gonna announce it later. So I personally think, yes, it is 100% definitely a house. I will be completely shocked if they come back with the details and they're like, so yeah, it's really just gonna be like a walkthrough zone at Cabana Bay. At the same time, I have been hurt twice by HHN. I have seen and heard that we were getting Five Nights at Freddy's, and I've been hurt twice by them. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. You're not going to fool me a third time, so I'm not getting my hopes up just yet. Because if all the people on the subreddit and in some of the Instagram comments are correct, and and they just announced that it's a photo op zone, Universal is kind of dumb for that. I mean, no disrespect, but that's kind of dumb. If it's a photo op zone, just announce it. Just say like, yeah, you're going to be able to go take photos with Freddy Fazbear and friends at Cabana Bay. I don't think it's that, but I'm not going to get my hopes up because I'm not going to let Universal break my heart a third time, okay? I'm not going to let them do it. So I'm going to say I believe it's a house, but I will not get my hopes up until I actually see the announcement post. But it's crazy to me that all of this stemmed from somebody just offhandedly saying it at a panel. And it actually kind of reminds me almost of when I saw the HHN panel, the ladies of HHN panel at Spooky Empire Con in 2023. Somebody actually got up and asked them a question. It was a little kid. He said, you know, are you guys going to be doing The Last of Us? Because The Last of Us had just finished. And she was like, you'll just have, one of the women on stage was like, you'll just have to come and see. And pretty much all of us in the audience were like, oh yeah, they're doing The Last of Us. And we got The Last of Us. So I'm just saying, I see Five Nights at Freddy's in our future. And if that is the case, it is going to be one of the most packed years. We are going to have a lot of Gen Z and Gen Alpha kids. So be ready for that. If you were one of those people, kind of like me, that doesn't really enjoy being there with a ton of teenagers that don't really pay attention to their surroundings and they're just screaming in people's ear because they can, you might want to skip this year. I'm not going to, because I still have a good time, even if I go and there's somebody I'm standing in line with that's obnoxious. Adults can be just as obnoxious, but I feel like every time I'm in line, it's always kids. It's always kids. But at the same, so there's gonna be a lot more kids. The merch for this year will be insane. I can only imagine what kind of merch we're gonna have for Five Nights at Freddy's, if it is for real a house. And honestly, if all of the predictions that everybody's kind of like dead set on right now from the speculation map are true, which I have such a strong gut feeling that they are, this might be a banner year for HHN when it comes to IPs. This might be a very good year. So like I said, I'm going to reserve really talking about any more speculative stuff because we are officially, it's June 3rd, when I'm recording this, it's June 3rd, we are officially in HHN announcement season. We have 2 months before the event opens. We're going to be getting bombarded soon, and I'm so excited, looking forward to it. I'm like I said, I'm going to wait till everything comes out, and then I'm going to do a big like announcement discussion video, and then Halloween Horror Nights season will have begun. The tickets aren't even on sale yet. Like, it is so, like, last year I bought my HHN ticket, like the 1-day ticket, in March. They're not even on sale yet. Like, they're really keeping this thing locked down, and I'm like, oh man, they're probably keeping it locked down because they're probably anticipating it's going to sell out. So with that being said, I am looking forward to this year's Halloween Horror Nights. If everything they say is true, this is going to be a great year, and you're going to see me there a lot if you live in the Orlando area. You're going to see me there after work. You're going to see me there on the weekends. Granted, we don't have any major storms that come like last year. Like, hopefully they'll, do a little 180 and go back into the ocean. That's the energy I'm pushing out this year. So we don't have to cut, the fun short. And also so people don't have to constantly repair their homes. But anyways, so yeah, I'm excited for this year. Let me know what you think. Do you think Five Nights at Freddy's is going to be a house at Halloween Horror Nights, or do you think it's going to be a photo op experience for the 3rd time? Just let me know what you think down in the comments. I gotta know what people are thinking. All right, so this might be my shortest video in a long time. To wrap this video up before we go, I am going to just give you guys a little bit of channel updates. Nothing serious. It's more about content than anything else. So I had to upgrade the RAM in my gaming laptop because my gaming laptop could not handle recording video games and like recording and playing a game. It couldn't handle both of those. As you guys saw with my mouthwashing video, as you guys saw with my Poppy Playtime Chapter 1 video. I started recording Poppy Playtime Chapter 2 and I am stuck in one specific section, and it's kind of one of those games I have to play either during the day, not because I'm scared, during the day, or when my roommate isn't home. Because when I played Poppy Playtime Chapter 1 and I got scared of the jump scare at the end, I screamed and apparently I woke her up and I felt really bad about it. So it's one of those two, like, so I'm hoping this Sunday I can finish it. I can like go in with a clear mind. I might just re-record the whole game and just do it all in one sitting, because I was also on limited time that day because I had to cook dinner and it was all that stuff, and it took me forever to get everything working, but I got everything working. It looked fantastic. The sound was fantastic, and I was like, yes, this is what I needed. Big ups to my brother because he's the one that actually upgraded the RAM for me. So Poppy Playtime Chapter 2 will probably be my next video. There's also a movie that came out that I do want to go see. I don't know when I'm going to go see it, but Bring Her Back came out, and I do want to go see it. I have seen people saying it's really disturbing. I'm trying to clear my mind and have an open mind because I wasn't crazy about Talk to Me, and these are the same guys that did Talk to Me. So I'm hoping Bring Her Back will actually be scary. So we'll see. Maybe next week I will go and see Bring Her Back, and maybe that will end up being my next video, or they'll both end up being my next video. And then after that, we will complete Yellow Jackets. I will watch season 3 and we'll complete Yellow Jackets, and then we will complete all of the Five Nights at Freddy's games. Five Nights at Freddy's? Then we will complete all of the Poppy Playtime games, and we will move on to some new games, because I have so many games I want to play, but it's hard doing them both at the same time, especially when you have only a specific time that you can game. But nonetheless, I'm going to try. I'm going to keep to my schedule of at least uploading at least once a week. If I know Welcome to Derry comes out in the fall, that will be another one that I do weekly episode updates, because, you know, it's nice to kind of have a little bit of a recap. And I'm really excited for that show because I love it. But next week is going to be a weird week for me. I'm going to try to get Poppy Playtime Chapter 2 played through and done this weekend, and then edit it. But next weekend, I am going to see one of my favorite groups in concert, and I'm going to be a little bit busy. I'm actually going to see Stray Kids. They're a K-pop group. If you know who they are, you know who they are. But Friday, I'm going to be going to gatherings that the fans are having, and then Saturday, I'm going to the actual concert. So it's going to be a crazy week and weekend. And then the week after that, it's kind of going to be back to business as usual. And then the end of July, I have another concert that's dead center in the middle of the week, and I'm going to see this group called ATEEZ, another K-pop group, another amazing group. So, right dead set in the middle of, the week, I have to go to that. So, I don't know if I'll get an upload out that week. We'll try. But I'm going to try to do more gaming stuff. This isn't gonna become a gaming channel, trust me, because, you know, but I'm gonna try to do more gaming stuff because I find it really fun. I game a lot. I love gaming. It's so much fun. Mostly playing Baldur's Gate with my best friend or my siblings, but I do love gaming and stuff, so this has been the perfect outlet for me to play these games. But I do want to continue doing the movie reviews. I do want to continue doing stuff, but I do want to focus on doing newer movies and less of going back and going back and going back. So that's why I said Bring Her Back would probably be next. I'm really excited for The Black Phone 2. I saw the trailer yesterday. Looks really good. Weapons comes out later this year. Like I said, Welcome to Derry comes out later this year. Trying to think of other horror movies. I don't know if I'm going to see Megan 2.0 because it doesn't look like a horror movie, and I mean, I'll probably watch it when it comes on streaming. There's no reason for me to go running to the theaters to see that one. I know everybody loves Megan, but I'm not crazy about her, okay? She's all right. And this movie doesn't look like it's scary at all. It looks like it's an action film, almost action comedy. I'm trying to think. I know there's some more horror movies coming out this year, and there's another movie that was recommended a couple times that I wanted to watch called The Ugly Stepsister. I will probably watch that soon and then do a review on that as well. So yeah, those are a little bit of the channel updates that I have, because I'm going to try to get back on track. I did not expect that migraine to take me out. The first day I had it, I was like, yeah, no, I'll record. And then I was like, okay, maybe I shouldn't. I'll record tomorrow. And then it just kept getting worse. And now it's better. Now my head doesn't hurt at all. But I think, you know, sometimes that happens to me. You know, it comes and goes, and I just have to deal with it. I take not my medication. I take over-the-counter meds, and then I rest when I'm not doing anything. So, in any case, thank you guys so much for joining me on this weird, chaotic video that is definitely the shortest video I've ever done. I'm gonna ask you guys, if you liked this video, like the video, subscribe, leave a comment down below because it drives up engagement. Anything that you do lets me know that you enjoyed what you just watched. I will be back next week with hopefully Poppy Playtime Chapter 2 and maybe even Bring Her Back. So be prepared for that. That's going to be really exciting. And yeah, take care of yourselves. Have a great rest of your day. We're getting into summertime, so have fun. And I will see you all next time with another creepy critique.